It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go. Thursday show, July 20th, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com. If you are watching live, maybe you're watching on the new Fox Local tab that you can find on your Roku, Apple TV, maybe the Fire Stick. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you.
What's up, my guy?
You, baby.
Feeling good. Shoes feel comfortable.
Oh, man. Braylon's got these golf shoes on. Put my foot in it. I thought I was getting a foot massage.
They are comfortable. They definitely are comfortable. So comfortable that I still have them on, considering they're golf shoes, and I shouldn't. But, hey, man, got a chance to get out there with Big Stan and, golf a little bit with my stepmom and Bailey. Bailey's new to the sport, enjoying it, so... Fried chicken last night at Pop's house.
Oh, man.
Get a chance to spend some time with the Edwards clan, as we like to call it. Tom Mazawey, how you doing over there, buddy?
I'm good, man. Good to see you guys. Is that an AG on your hat?
It is
that
not,
Roland Garros?
It looks like an AG.
It's an RG.
Oh, it's like an RG.
It's an
Roland
RG.
Garros or RG3.
It could be RG3. No, but it's Rolling Greens. It's a golf course out in Philadelphia.
Oh,
Speaking
golf
of
course.
RG3, which is interesting, Ryan, you always say this. You always say it's not about where you go. It's not about who you are, it's where you go. It's the situation you fall into. And when your time comes, you have to be ready.
Not when you're picked, where you're picked.
Speaking of RG3 gets drafted. He's going to be the future. And then who else do they draft? They draft Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Fourth round.
But you know what now? We won't need Kirk Cousins because we got our guy. He's going to be the future. Well, the Redskins, now the Commanders, they screw RG3 over. He injures his leg. He's never the same. Kirk Cousins, however, has capitalized on it ever since. Got to be ready when they call your name. And Kirk Cousins was.
No
That was
doubt
something,
about
huh?
it.
Yeah, it was.
No doubt about it.
Why the hell did they draft Cousins in the third round after taking RG3?
It was a
in the
fourth
first
round pick.
Fourth
I
round.
don't think they had a third round pick.
Yeah.
So Cousins, even though he was a fourth round pick, he was actually their third draft choice that particular
was
year.
pissed.
So they had two quarterbacks taken in their first three picks.
He was very upset when they picked him because usually you're happy no matter where you're going to go. But he gets
Or
picked.
you feel like you got a legit shot
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, he wanted a chance to compete.
He gets picked after a franchise quarterback gets chosen.
Because if you're Kirk Cousins at that time, you want to be drafted to a team that has like a Phillip Rivers or
Yeah,
some
like
type.
the
where you-
Browns even.
Exactly, like a Phillip Rivers where it's over in 3 years, you can start her. You got drafted behind a guy that just won the Heisman.
And it was their number one pick.
And was Rookie of the Year. Yeah, he beat out Andrew Luck. He was one Rookie of the Year.
He would have been a hell of a quarterback.
He would have been amazing, man. But he pretty much tore his ACL in the last game of the season. And what was it? The Giants and
They made him play.
the Giants and Skins, and they beat the Giants to get into the playoffs. And then that first move he tried to make in the playoffs hasn't been the same since. He's electric too.
Guys, before we get started, obviously a lot going on with the Lions. They made the trade for Denzel Mims yesterday. We'll get to that in 1 second. But I want Braylon, I want your take on this. We have made a T-shirt here at Woodward Sports. It is now live on woodwardsports.com. It is based on a segment we do each and every Wednesday. Parker, if you will have the honest cap or no cap, cap or no cap with Tom Mazawey on the shirt.
Yo.
Those are our graphics for cap or no cap. You can now buy one right now. woodwardsports.com. Cap or no cap. What do you think, Braylon?
I'm charging for the licensing fee, man. I came up with the idea. No, this is amazing. I like it. It's maize and blue, so I get a chance to wear it during football season. You got Mass Pretty Mug all over it. I like the letters. It's perfectly placed. The no, I like it, man. This is dope.
So
this
got
is dope.
cap on the front, no cap on the back.
I like it. I didn't even peep that it's on both sides. I thought it was two different shirts.
No, it's just one shirt, cap on the front, no cap on the back.
I love that cap is on the front.
You got to be.
You got to have cap on the front.
Yeah, you got to have Maz's Babe Ruth hat.
So we have to get Maz a shirt ASAP. Like, Maz has to be the first one that wears the shirt.
Absolutely. What do you got, 3X over there, Maz?
2X.
2X. Sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I don't care.
What a douche. What a douche.
Whatever.
What are you wearing over there?
Maz,
4X?
We'll get you one. 2X in the back. 2X in the back. We'll get you
3X in the front.
Maz, do you like the shirt?
I think it's
shirt.
wonderful. People like that. It's funny. I mean, my mug, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yo.
It's not the same without the cap coming off of it automatically, like Parker does.
Yes.
He puts it on. It looks like I'm taking the cap on and off, on and off. It doesn't have that same appeal, but it is what it is.
So the interesting thing about this too is the Mazisms. Like, these are Mazisms now. The next Mazism that we have to get is, and I go back to it, I dug way deep. And I came up with nothing.
Right.
We got to get that shirt, man.
Right.
Maybe like your facial expression from Dispo that day. And then the shirt says, I came up with nothing. That's the next one.
I dug down deep and came up.
That is
up with
fantastic.
That's Max's shirt.
Maz,
That
how was the
is.
concert last night? Did you go to a concert or just the girls?
No, we sent the girls, and this was a concert that my wife and I usually go with them, and I blew it. I only bought 3 tickets, so the girls go. It's
So what is
it? It's called Big Time Rush. It's a boy band.
Okay.
Like One Direction, Big Time Rush, same type of thing. So they had a TV show probably was on for
So Disney,
probably
wasn't
5
it?
years. It was Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon, okay.
So it
Nick
was
Kids.
it's a good show. I enjoyed it. They had a movie with Beatles music, and they did a Beatles album, the Help album. They're good. They're very great. They're terrific to watch, and my girls love them, and a lot of other girls and boys love them. And the place was packed last night at Pine Knob, and my girls. I must have done good with the tickets. Remember my Drake tickets?
Yeah.
That wasn't good enough for the girls?
Right, they had to sell them and buy them.
They had to sell them and upgrade.
Buy better.
Well, these, they didn't even try to sell. They didn't know where they were going to sit.
Right.
And I got a right stage ticket on Pine Knob. So I didn't know how good it was, but they were close. And Abby, my middle, makes a sign. I forgot what one of their songs.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. Worldwide Girl, WWG. It's called. So they're holding up the sign. Lily is screaming her lungs out. Maddie they're jumping up and down. They pull Abby up on stage.
Get out of here.
One of 4 girls out of the whole place that got pulled up on stage for about 20 minutes.
Get out of here.
It was like they died and went to heaven. They call us at 11 p.m. on their way home. You got to stay awake. You got to stay awake. You won't believe what happened. You won't believe what happened. Meanwhile, a bunch of our friends had already called us and told us what was happening because they were at the concert.
Oh, wow.
So we played dumb. They come home and we put the thing up on the Apple TV, put it up on the TV off their phones, and watched it. And they were crying again and screaming.
Unbelievable.
They probably stayed up to 4 a.m. last night.
Unbelievable.
Just watching the show. I'm so happy for them. And they got probably hundreds of people saw them. Their friends saw them and are
What a
writing them.
memory. What a memory.
Isn't that great?
What they
Yeah.
put them on stage to do?
To do a song with them.
Oh, they saying they got a chance
Yeah,
to
they
sing
did
with
that
them?
Worldwide Girl, I think it was called.
WWGD?
So, yeah,
What we gotta
WWGD.
do?
I just thought it was
That
really,
is
really
so
That's
cool,
cool.
man. I love
That's
that. I love it. That's what memories are all about.
Now
Man,
my wife is more mad at me than ever.
that you weren't there.
No, that we weren't there.
Yeah.
So I
exactly.
can't even win.
I'm going to Pine Knob on Sunday.
Who are you going to see?
Snoop Doggy Dog. I won't sing it for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Taking my wife to see Snoop Dogg.
Can I admit something?
What?
You ready?
Yeah.
My wife and I are going to
Neil Diamond?
Freedom Hill tomorrow. Are you ready?
Oh, wait. Frankie Valley.
He's 85 years old. Frankie Valley and the Four Seasons.
Oh, my
The
God.
Jersey Boys. Now I'll admit this to you. They were the first concert I've ever saw in my life. Was Frankie Valley and the Four Seasons at Asbury Park on the boardwalk in Convention Center because they're Jersey guys. And the movie and the Broadway show, Jersey Boys, is about Frankie Valley and the Four Seasons.
Unbelievable.
So I'm going to go tomorrow. Yes, I'm going to see an 85-year-old crooner tomorrow night with my wife.
Frankie Valley. That's so good. Isn't he in like some movie like in the 80s. I don't know.
Well, he did Grease.
Grease, that's what it is. Yeah,
number
yeah.
one song,
Yeah.
Grease, and number one song.
Oh my
a
gosh.
million of them with the Four Seasons.
God, that is incredible.
So you go see Snoop, I'll go see Freddie.
All right, fair enough.
It's funny you mentioned your girls got caught up on stage. I had a friend of mine back in the day. His girlfriend got caught up on stage to a concert at Auburn Hills, past Auburn Hills. It was Trey Songz, and Trey Songz called. We're in Miami, so me and my boy Larnell, we're in Miami. We're enjoying ourselves. His girlfriend is at the Palace of Auburn Hills, seeing Trey Songz, enjoying herself. Trey Songz. This is the Trey Songz and Usher tour. Trey Songz pulls his girl on stage. And he got a little explicit dancing-wise. And then the video went viral. And we're in Miami enjoying ourselves. I'm looking at my phone because it's attached to my hand. And I show my boy, I'm like, hey, man, you might want to check this out. He stops everything. We're in Live nightclub.
Oh, my
Live
gosh.
nightclub in Miami. Stops everything he's doing, and he sulks the rest of the evening. What would you have done in that situation?
Oh, man, I don't even know. Hide?
Trey Songz calls your girls on stage. I want the first thing smoking back to DTW.
Right, exactly.
Did his girlfriend break up with him?
He broke up with her.
Okay. That was it.
He broke up with her.
That's all it took.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, it is Trey Songz, Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Hey, this is
It's
true.
just going to happen.
This is true.
Right? I mean, you just got to be
he's
open
not
to
keeping
it.
his hands to himself.
You got to be,
my.
gotta be open to it.
Yeah.
Guys, gonna get a break in. When we come back, Denzel Mims to the Lions. Brad Holmes, does he do it again? What does the wide receiver expert in the room think of Mr. Mims coming to Detroit? We'll have that for you next. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. But you can have that now straight to your door. All you have to do is go to fairwaypacking.com or visit them at their steak shop. They have a retail store now in Grosse Pointe Woods. It's on Mack Avenue. You walk in, vacuum-packed steaks, one at a time. Whatever you want to grab, they've got it there for you. If you can't make it to Grosse Pointe Woods, order online. Next day shipping. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com.
Source, aged, packed, primed to perfection.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us. Hop on the YouTube chat. Slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Woodward Sports. Hit that like button as well. Let's get to over 50 likes by the end of this segment. Lions making some news. First and foremost, today they cut Michael Badgley, their kicker. They had 3 kickers in.
I knew that was happening. I knew it.
Now, Badgley was with them
Last year. He stunk. He's just average.
Right. He's just okay.
He's okay. 45 yards and in, he's good.
But
anything past that, see it.
But the problem with that is if the Lions are within 45 yards, they're probably going for it on fourth down.
But that was because they didn't really trust their kicker.
Right, so they need somebody with a leg. But Braylon, I think the big news, and obviously the big news for a lot of Lions fans, is they traded a conditional 6th-round pick to the New York Jets for Denzel Mims, the disgruntled wide receiver from the New York Jets. He was the 59th overall selection in 2020. 2nd-round pick out of Baylor. Braylon Edwards, your reaction to Mims to Detroit?
This is an interesting pickup. You look at Denzel Mims. He was pretty good when he was at Baylor. He had 2 seasons, over 1,000 yards. The big thing about him is yards after catch were big when he was at Baylor. And he's a guy that got in the end zone. He scored touchdowns. Now, being in New York, he hasn't put up those same stats that he did at Baylor. So you're looking at him and you're saying 186 this year, 106 this year. What are you really getting yourself into? This is a guy that's played on a team that's had no quarterback. The Jets haven't had a quarterback since he's been there. He really hasn't had a footing and a place to really find himself, if you will. They had Corey Davis out there. They had E.J. Moore. Now they have Garrett Wilson. Hasn't had a chance to find himself. You bring him to Detroit, you get a 6th or a 7th if it works. If it doesn't work, then you get a young man that's hungry, a guy that wants a chance to prove himself. And you need wide receivers right now. We talked about it yesterday. That is the position that I thought, wide receiver and defensive interior lineman, I thought that's going to be the interesting question mark at the beginning of the season for the Detroit Lions. But Denzel Mims, man, he has a chance. He's here. We need a wide receiver. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You have Marvin Jones Sr., and then you have Jameson returning after 6 games. So it's open. It's open for a guy that's hungry to take a chance. And Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, they're all about giving guys that are hungry and want to understand the culture a chance. So I see it as a fun guy to keep your eye on in training camp.
It was a very frugal deal. Remember we called them the frugal Lions? Mm-hmm. Don't cost them anything.
Right.
I mean, they're not going to go out and get a D-Hop. They're not going to go out and try to bring back Kenny Galladay and revive his career. They took this kid, what is he, 3rd year? 4th year?
2020, so this will be his 4th year.
His 4th year. You got nothing to lose except the 7th-round pick. And if he makes the team, you lost a 6th-round pick. I think it's a great move for them. They needed depth. Now they got some depth. Maybe this kid hits a home run. Maybe he's just good for 6 weeks till Jameson Williams comes back. But you know what? Like Braylon said, he's got a lot to prove. He's got a good team to be with. What I don't understand, that the Jets let him go. Aaron Rodgers didn't really even get a chance to work with him. So I don't know. Maybe the Jets are overloaded at wide receiver right now.
Well, take the Jets in just a second. Let's focus on the Lions for a minute. And how many times have we talked over the last couple of weeks, or at least how many times have we talked since the news of Jameson Williams' suspension has come about, that if you look at any position group along the Detroit Lions team, that the wide receiver unit of all places seems to be the thinnest. They do need some extra bodies there, heaven forbid, some talent there, because if one guy goes down in this receiver group over the first 6 weeks, they are in a little bit of trouble. Mims is almost the exact same guy, height, weight, length, speed, as a guy they lost last year, and that's DJ Chark. Mims 6'3", 207, Chark 6'3", 201. They both run similar 40s. They both have similar hands. And maybe, just maybe, Braylon, a change of scenery will do him some good. Maybe the relationship was so irreparable between he and the Jets because he was so outspoken against Robert Saleh and against Zach Wilson. And, then throw in the fact that Garrett Wilson was taken in the 1st round last year. This is a player that just wants a fresh start, and he's going to get that opportunity here in Detroit.
Yeah, he's going to get an opportunity here in Detroit. Look, they had E.J. Moore last year. They had Corey Davis last year, Garrett Wilson last year. You look at, what was the young Berrios. They had Berrios, the smaller wide receiver that they had. Then they brought in Mikael Hardman. So they have a ton of wide receivers on that team. Meanwhile, they don't have any quarterbacks. So you're looking at a guguy, once again, that's going to get his opportunity. And I'm glad you brought up the height, 6'3", 207. Shoot, that's what I was when I came out of college. That's when I came. Well, I was 6'3", 212. It's a bigger guy. It's a bigger body guy, and he can run a little bit. Marvin Jones Sr. is 6 foot. Amon-Ra St. Brown they claim he's 6 foot. You need a guy that can go up. Not a guy that, I'm not saying anything negative against those guys being 6 foot. They still can make plays. They still can play above the ball. There's a lot of guys in this league that aren't 6'4" that play above the DB. But when you got a guy that's 6'3", it's a little easier to play above the guy, above the DB. You got guys that can go over the middle, get you that first down, and then when you stretch the field, you got a guy that'll draw more pass interferences. When guys are 6'3", they tend to draw more pass interferences down the field, having that taller height because the DBs do get lost. So it's going to be fun to watch. It's another guy to keep an eye out on. And you know what Brad Holmes are. If you show them something in training camp, like if you show them that you can fit into the culture, that you understand your role, just like when we talked about with Kirk Cousins, when your number is dialed and be ready, they'll reward you in full. And this is definitely a team that you want to be on and want to be rewarded because of where they're going. So, like I said, it's not a great signing. It's not something where I'm like, oh, man, they got Denzel Mims. But they do have a guy that was really good in college, that's hungry, that wants to show that he can play. So I'm all for watching this in camp. And he's going to have some guys to go against. It goes back to the competition. That secondary that we have now, going against these wide receivers, it's going to be fun in camp. It's going to get feisty. I guarantee you, you're going to see a fight no later than Tuesday.
I'll tell you this. It reminds me of last year when they went to Denver. Remember? Didn't they give a 4th-round pickup for Trinity Benson? Trinity Benson last year, and that one didn't work. He didn't make the he was always on the inactive list, Trinity Benson. And they got a kid from Cleveland, and I'm trying to think of his name. He played in a few games as well, but neither one of those guys really worked out. But they would, the 4th-round pick for Trinity Benson last year, or it might have been a 5. This one is a 6 or a 7. I think it's a no-brainer. Give the kid a chance. He's got a whole camp to hook up with this team, and it's a no-lose situation for a team that needs some depth at wide receiver.
Yeah, that's the best thing about it. It's a no-lose situation. When you look at the Lions, they're making moves that, hey, if they don't work out, it's not going to hurt them at all. If this move doesn't work out with Denzel Mims, they gain a 6th-round pick or they gain a 7th-round pick. If it doesn't work, that's not that big of a deal at all, and he's not a guy that you had on your radar. So Lions, once again, Brad Holmes, the mad scientist, is showing he's making these moves. We'll see how it plays out.
If you look at the wide receiver group right now, okay? I mean, let's just do the – how many guys are they going to keep? 6, 7?
6.
Okay, 6.
Don't forget my man Tom Kennedy.
So listen to me. So they're going to take Jamison Williams out. Take him out. You have Amon-Ra. You have Marvin Jones, Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond. That's 4. And then you have some combination of, am I missing somebody? Amon-Ra, Marvin Jones, Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond. So that's 4. And then you're going to have some combination of Mims, Antoine Green, who is the 7th-round pick from North Carolina.
And don't sleep on him. He's nice.
Exactly, but there's 6 right there. And then you've got Tom Kennedy, Trinity Benson, Maurice Alexander, Dylan Drummond from Eastern Michigan University. So, I mean, this guy...
Trinity Benson's back on the roster now?
Yes, he is back on the roster.
He's not going to make the team.
Right. And Tom
Kennedy's not going to make the team.
Exactly. I'm sorry. Denzel Mims is a better player than Tom Kennedy, as much as I love Tom Kennedy. I love his grit. I hope he gets on with somebody else. But Denzel Mims is a better player than him. It's just a fact. Dylan Drummond, Chase Cota, Trinity Benson, Maurice Alexander. My guess is that Mims not only makes his team, but makes a significant impact, I think.
I hope you're right. I hope it's a steal.
Yeah, I don't want to piss Tom Mazawey off when I say this, though, but when I look at Tom Kennedy, loved him last year. He's a great guy. He make plays at times, but when his number got called, he didn't produce. Like, his number got called, he didn't produce. So he's a guy that I'm not paying attention to. Tom Kennedy is going to have to wow Brad Holmes and the Detroit Lions and the fan base to make this team. He had his chance last year, he didn't make it. So with him, he's a guy that's going to have to do something special. Even Josh Reynolds, he's been around for a little bit.
He's got so much chemistry with Goff and knows the system so well.
But what does that chemistry matter if you don't play? Like, if you have all this chemistry, but you don't play, essentially, you know how the teams are going to look at that? They're wasting a roster spot on you. So Josh Reynolds, he's a guy that has the years with Jared Goff, has the years with Brad Holmes, but he's going to have to make some plays in training camp too. Like, once you're under there year 2, year 3, you're under fire if you haven't made plays.
Missed 5 games last year, there's no doubt. I see what you're saying. I'm not going to...
He can play, though.
Yeah.
Like, he will be able to play, but the good thing about it, Ryan, and what I love about this is you got guys got to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And the cream will rise to the crop. You got Jameson has 6 weeks out. So you got guys that are like, hey, look, who wants this spot? Who wants to go in the Kansas City game being the third wide receiver? Who wants to be in that game and make a play? Because somebody's going to have to make a play, not named Amon-Ra St. Brown and not named Marvin Jones Sr. when you play against the Kansas City Chiefs. Is it Khalil Raymond? Is it going to be Josh Reynolds? Those guys are going to fight during training camp, Ryan, and I tell you like this, I love watching receivers fight when it's time in training camp.
And I think you also love a guy that's got some talent too, right? Yeah. I mean, this is a player that in 3 years at Baylor, 2 of those years was over 1,000 yards.
Another one was at 800. So, yeah, at the yards per catch. The guy can play.
And the guy can play, and the guy is, and you mentioned this a million times, but he is a hungry player, and that seems to be exactly what Brad Holmes has gone after. It's the type of guy that I think this organization kind of has been accustomed not only bringing here, but building this foundation with guys like Denzel Mims, those talented, hungry athletes.
Talented, hungry athletes. I mean, we keep saying it. Like, it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, Denzel Mims, the guy can play. We'll just have to see how the thing plays out, man, because, like I said, it's not a great pickup, but it could be something special. You never know how hungry these guys are.
Exactly.
You never know how guys feel when they feel as though they've been passed over. Excuse me.
Bless you. Bless you.
There it is. As if they've been passed over. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't know how a guy feels. You don't know if a guy is better. You don't know if the situation had politics involved and he felt that way, etc. Now that guy has that chip on his shoulder, the size of the golden nugget, to quote Jay-Z. I want to see how it plays out. Like, chips on the shoulder, they're usually a good thing. Look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, chip on the shoulder. Look at Cooper Kupp, chip on the shoulder. So we'll see if that chip on the shoulder helps Denzel Mims.
Hey, they were weak at wide receiver, depth-wise, and, and every guy we talked to that covers the Lions said they need some more inside defensive line help. There's a guy out there, and he waits and he waits.
And we're going to talk about that next. Should the Lions go get Ndamukong Suh? He is out there. That is next. But first, a message from 5 Iron Golf.
Here, I got a couple questions for you. You think you can play some golf? How about beating a professional athlete? Well, it's the Woodward Sports Thursday Night Golf League, live at 5 Iron Golf from 12 consecutive weeks. 12 consecutive weeks. We will be a part of it. Myself, Darren McCarty, played on the state-of-the-art TrackMan simulators. They are the best simulators known to man right now. 13 simulators, and it is the wave. It's hot outside, ladies and gentlemen. You want to play some golf? How about play it inside, downtown at the Cambria Hotel? Play, practice, party the way you want to. You mentioned Woodward Sports, you get half off your first time. 5 Hour Golf, downtown Detroit, Cambria Hotel.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey, JB, Jeremy Bryan in the audio booth, and of course Parker Brown in the technical director booth. We want to thank each and every one of you for listening, watching, however you're consuming Woodward Sports Network. I want to direct everybody to woodwardsports.com as well for the shop. We have made the shirt. Nobody asked for it, but they're already selling like hotcakes, apparently.
Yeah, there's a few on the chat.
Yes.
A couple of friends of mine said, which one? Should I do capped or no cap? I'm like, it's the same shirt.
It is the same shirt. I just want to be clear. Cap is on the front. No cap is on the back. It is only one shirt. That's the easiest way to show you exactly what is front and back.
So do we now have a wardrobe for Wednesdays? I'm during the season. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, are all 5 of us gonna come in wearing cap, no cap shirts?
We might have to.
I'm down.
I like it.
Especially the first week. I feel like when should we break this out? Like, break the shirts out. All 5 of us wearing cap, no cap on Wednesday. Would it be the Wednesday?
As soon as you can get me a shirt, Bray. You got all the pull around here.
Man,
you got all the pull around here.
You better go talk to Gabby.
You got all the pull around here, big guy.
Maybe the Wednesday before the Kansas City Lions game.
Where's the Woodward Sports logo? No Woodward Sports logo?
That might be good. That might be too long.
Don't quit complaining now, man. Don't start complaining now.
Maybe next Wednesday.
Selling like hotcakes. Cap or no cap?
Cap, no cap.
And Ndamukong Suh is out there, guys. And
sign him.
Well, it's easier said than done. He actually has to want to play here. But just a couple of things about Ndamukong Suh. He is unlikely, according to reports, he is unlikely to sign before training camp. He is interested in playing in 2023, and he wants to win another Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay in 2021. He probably will wait and probably will sign with a Super Bowl contender sometime in October or November, I would think. Is that the Lions? We'll see. We'll see how good of a start they can get off to.
If I'm the Detroit Lions, and this is no offense to Ndamukong Suh, I never thought the Lions should have gotten rid of Ndamukong Suh. They got played by the salary cap that the NFL restricted.
Sure did.
Surprising. The Lions get screwed by the NFL yet again. But you look at his first 4 years, and Spencer Raxter was right when he said that dude was a legend in those first 4 years.
Damn right.
He legitimately finished third in defensive rookie MVP as a rookie. But in this current climate, Ryan, I wouldn't bring him back. And this is why I wouldn't bring him back. You look at his last couple years of production, there's nothing that tells me they need to bring him back production-wise. Then you say, well, he's a edge Pro Bowl guy.
Fringe.
Fringe Hall of Fame guy. Disrespect. Fringe Hall of Fame guy. We got some young interior defensive linemen. He can help get those guys right. When has Ndamukong Suh ever been the guy that you pegged for leadership? When has Ndamukong Suh ever been the guy that you pegged to mentor young guys? And also, all the young guys on this team, they were there when it was 3-13-1. I mean, yeah, you brought in C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Cam Sutton, but most of these guys were there when it was 3-13-1. Most of these guys were there when it was 1-6 last year, and Dan Campbell's about to get fired. And the grit and all that is about to be over, and then they rallied back. You don't want to bring a guy in that's under this new where I want to see what team I can place myself on to give myself the best opportunity to win a championship. I don't think this is a team where you bring in guys to do that. I think that's a team like last year where Philly, let me keep adding veterans to give us the best chance, or the 49ers or blah, blah, blah. This team is different. They've worked hard to get to where they are. They worked hard to garner that. I don't know if taking a shot on him gives you the best chance. I don't know if the risk outweighs the reward, if you will. I think this team is set, and yeah, you want some interior defensive linemen, but I don't know if he's ready to be that mentor they want him to be. Because when you bring in a guy that's won a Super Bowl, that's been to multiple Pro Bowls, that's an all-pro type player, you typically bring that guy in to mentor the young guys.
I would push back on you a little bit on that, because I don't think they want him to mentor anything. If he or anybody brought him in, I think it'd be because they have a position of need and they think he's got a little gas in the tank.
Okay, let me ask you that. Say that's the case, and I'm cool with that. But how would the players on the team feel if they went through training camp, they went through the Kansas City game, and then the Seattle game, and then a couple other games, and now they fought through all of that, and let's say after week 8, they're 6-2, and now here comes Ndamukong Suh, like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you guys are 6-2. You guys are for real. I'll sign on the dotted line. If I'm a young guy on that team, and I was there when I won't say that I was there when we lost those 2 games, and then we won those 6 games, and I know what we went through in the summer, and I know what we went through in the offseason. I'm like, I don't know if I want this guy to join our team now that we're good, now that we're on our path. This guy wasn't there in the beginning, so why should this guy get a chance to be there in the end?
if you're along the defensive line, you might feel like that. But I think if you're on the team, you'll take anybody who's better that's going to help you not only look back but look forward. Because I think you're trying to win a championship, and if that's Jerry Rice coming back from the dead, or if that's Ndamukong Suh, or hell, Tom Brady, I think you take any. And I don't know what he's got left in the tank, to be honest with you. I have no idea. I don't even know how good he was last year in Philadelphia, to be honest with you. Yeah, was he really good? Was he good?
He was okay.
Was he okay? 1 second he was hurt most of the time.
I have no idea. I'm just in terms of, if you have the ability to improve your roster in training camp, in week 1, in week 10, I say you do it. Now, whether Ndamukong Suh is the answer or not, I don't know. But
the only question that I have, Maz, and I'll pose this to you, is it's not necessarily sometimes about if a guy can just help, from the X's and O's standpoint. It's about the culture. Yeah. It's about a guy coming inside your locker room. It's about what can happen when he gets in there. How's he going to be? What's his mindset? Is he coming like his what doesn't stink? Is he coming like, I'm going to take a back roll and kind of see how you guys got this thing rolling, and I want to be a part of a team. I want to be part of the whole. Or is he going to come in and have his own locker room somewhere? Is he going to go do his own thing? Is he not going to hang out with the guys? These guys are a team. These guys hang out together. They work out together. They pray together. Like, these guys are different. I'm just saying it's not necessarily about X's and O's. It could just be about the fit. Like, will he mess up the culture? Will he mess up the locker room? I don't know. Yeah. But I'm just saying you got to be careful.
Personally, I don't think he will, because this is completely under control of these coaches. Dan Campbell and the rest of the staff, Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, the rest of the players that were coaches now, they're not going to allow that to screw it up. If they don't believe that he wants to come here, finish his career here in Detroit, and maybe help them here and there, plug and play, sack a quarterback, maybe just disrupt a play or two, then they're not going to sign him. But there's a couple guys online here on our panel here that are watching us on the chat. Randy P let it off. As soon as we said it, he's like, nope, don't want him, don't need him. He's a me guy. He's not a team guy. As you were saying the words, Randy was writing those words. And there's a bunch of people that follow in those footsteps. So we're not getting the Ndamukong Suh that we used to have, that kicked Evan Dietrich Smith with the Packers. We're not getting that guy. We're getting a guy that's going to play a down here, a down there, and that's what you're going to get with Ndamukong Suh now.
I'm glad you said that, because that was my next question. We know what Ndamukong Suh has done when he was a Detroit Lion, when he was a Miami Dolphin. We know the mistakes he's made. We know how his temper, we know how he can be blinded in the moment, make a mistake. Now, he'll regret it after the fact. But in that very moment,
I don't think he regrets it.
But sometimes, and I'll lead you to this. You said that was the old Ndamukong.
Yeah.
Well, if I remember correctly, 2 years ago when they played against the Rams, didn't he do some shady to Matt Stafford?
He did.
Who's a former teammate. Now, I understand.
He dug him into the ground.
And this is a former teammate. This is a guy. What's to stop the Detroit Lions from picking up Ndamukong Suh, being in the second round of the playoffs, and Ndamukong Suh having a moment and doing something dumb that cost the Detroit Lions dearly, severely? They might be looking at a field goal, and he does something. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
I hear you.
That's the only thing. I don't think he will. I love Gum. You know, Ingham is my girl, just like you. You love Gum. That's his sister. Works on his foundations. Like, I love the family, but I'm just asking questions as an analyst. Look, what happens when you're in the NFC Championship and Ndamukong Suh has a moment, and then you look at you now? It probably will never happen. But the fact that you've seen it happen before means it could happen again. And what if that happens, and then Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are looking at themselves like, we knew that this was a possibility, and we still pulled the trigger? Those are questions that the front office is going to be asking themselves. Because if you take all that off the table, and Ndamukong's a hell of a player to have. He's the perfect player to have for this team.
If you're him, do you want to come here?
I do.
Me too.
I do.
I want to end my career where I started it. I do.
The reason
on a team that's on the upswing. When he was here in 14, that was a great team. That was a great team, and they got robbed against the Cowboys. I know. I'm not going to go through the whole game.
Right.
They got robbed. That was a team that could have done something that year.
I'll speak from personal experience. Not the Cleveland Browns. I never wanted to finish with the Cleveland Browns, but when I got traded to the Jets were home for me. Like, Jets was home. Like, I love the New York Jets. Like, I identify as a New York Jet. When I left, it hurt. To leave, it hurt. Went to the 49ers, went to the Seahawks, had some success, but it wasn't like when I was with the Jets. I would have loved to not injure my knee in 49ers mask and go back and finish.
Oh, yeah.
I went back to the Jets, and I retired before the season started because I got hurt. But I'm saying that to say this. If I could have finished with the Jets, it would have been perfect. I would have finished with the Jets. I probably would have still be living in New Jersey. I would have never moved back. He has an opportunity to finish where it started and on a good foot, and he's already won the Super Bowl. So he can come back in this place, one, to help the Detroit Lions get further, and two, put his name in good standing, not only around the NFL, but in the city that gave him a chance in the first place in 2010. So I would definitely want to be a Detroit Lion if I was Ndamukong Suh.
I would too if I was Ndamukong Suh. It doesn't feel like it would be a very Brad Holmes-like signing to sign a veteran like this. But I would caution everybody too to go on what you think you know about Ndamukong Suh. Ndamukong Suh at 25 is much different than perhaps Ndamukong Suh at 35. And I mean, just look at your own life. Ryan Ermanni at 44 is a much different guy than I was at 24 and 34. I mean, you just change over time. Look at the situation between Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander. The only reason it works now in New York,
it doesn't work.
where they kind of, but they're not winning, but at least, you know, they're cordial, they're friendly, they hang out, they're on the same team, they do the same things, is because they are older now. Everybody always talks about, if the Tigers, that run would have continued if they would have just stayed together. That run would have never stayed together because when those two players were younger, they didn't have the mental capacity to stay together. They've changed over time. Their experiences has allowed them to change over time. Both of those guys have a World Series ring now, two in Verlander's case, and that changes you.
Asterisk.
And
Asterisk.
Yeah, asterisk. And Justin Verlander.
Yeah.
Or excuse me.
Scherzer has a World Series too.
That's what I said.
Nationals. That's what you said, Verlander.
No, Verlander has two.
Right.
And Scherzer has one. But Sue has a championship as well. That stuff changes you as you get older. So you might not be getting the madman Ndamukong Suh, for lack of a better way to say it.
I wouldn't mind getting that guy, to tell you the truth. I wouldn't mind. Because they put fear into other teams. That Lions defense put fear. They changed. He changed the way people looked at the Detroit Lions. He did. Mm-hmm. And I was proud to have him here on my team. And I'll take that same guy back here. He's not going to do the stupid. He's not going to kick anyone anymore. But he might lay on you a little bit like he did on Stafford.
And he's supposed
that's
to.
Okay with me.
And he's supposed to.
Yeah.
You know, this is devil's advocate that we're really talking about here anyway, because there's no report of him wanting to play or wanting to come here.
Well, he's going somewhere.
I do think.
He's definitely going to go somewhere.
If what happens with the Lions this year, what I think is going to happen, then the Lions are going to be on the list. Because I do think the Lions are going to get off to a good start. I do see them at 6-2, 7-2, something like that when the season starts.
It's a great story.
And I think if you're 6-2, 7-2, you're going to be one of those Super Bowl caliber type teams that Ndamukong Suh is going to be looking at.
One of the big things, and obviously they brought back Marvin Jones Sr. So he's a guy that has played here before, and now he's come back, and so now. But Ndamukong Suh would be the story. You both just mentioned story. He would be an amazing story from the standpoint that guy that left, guy that was a great here, but it didn't necessarily leave under the best, you know what I'm saying, leave the best way in terms, leave the fans with the best taste in their mouth. They thought that he wanted to leave. They didn't think it was the rule. They thought it was him wanting to leave. He's been some other places. He's won the Super Bowl. Now the Lions are no longer the same old Lions. They're the BNLs, the brand new Lions. Now you bring Ndamukong Suh back. Now you got one of those former pillars, those stars, the Detroit Lions, a guy that's on the fringe of being a Hall of Famer. This is a good move for Brad Holmes because now you got a face. Now you're bringing back an old face to be a Detroit Lion. I think it could be great. You remember we talked about Quandre Diggs?
Yeah.
Wanting to bring back Quandre Diggs?
Love him.
That would have been a great.
Slay. Love it.
Darius Slay. Maybe this is that guy. You know, you bring back Ndamukong Suh, and maybe he becomes a leader.
Hey, look,
maybe
I want people to remember this.
Yeah.
After that Dallas playoff loss, he stood on the podium and he cried. Yeah, he left for Miami. He left to me, he left his best playing days here. He was never the same player after he left here. I just think there's a part of him that would like a reunion. That's my opinion, and I'm going to stick with it.
And I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I'd love to see it, too, if that was the case. Guys, we all think the Lions are on the cusp of what we believe is a good 5-6 year run at minimum. ESPN compiled a list of future power rankings. What do teams project to be over the next 3 years? Taking a look at a 3-year power ranking, the next 3 years, 23, 24, and 25. How about that? Where are the Detroit Lions as it relates to other NFL teams? Where do they rank? 1 to 32. We'll go down them. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. That's right, Les Stanford has expanded their brands with Buick GMC, and they have landed in Ferndale. Same great service that customers have come to know. Les Stanford Buick GMC is located on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. And of course, if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for the last 55 plus years. You can find the brand you want. All GM brands under one umbrella. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find a new road.
Find them.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
How's everybody doing today?
We're good.
If you're watching live, there is some wicked weather expected out there.
Wicked.
Tornado-like conditions.
Who's saying that?
Really?
Yeah.
Tornado-like?
Between 4 and 7 if you're watching live.
Hey, Ryan, let me ask you this question. Like, do you play your music loud with the windows down?
I do not. You can call me an 80-year-old man. I hate loud music.
So, I'm glad I asked you. I asked you on purpose because I knew you didn't. Man. I set you up.
I do.
Thank you. Don't get mad at me, Ryan. But I usually don't play my music loud anymore. I had the sound system. I had the 15 Rockford Falls gates in the back. I had the 1100 watt amp, all that. I had the tweeters, the 5x7, blast my music. But then I got a little older. Felt like it was disrespectful. Roll your windows up. Listen to your music on the inside. I was coming into work yesterday. There's this old guy. He had to be about, not old sense of the old. He was old, like 85, riding in an old school Porsche, drop top. He was listening to some Wiz Khalifa, loud as hell.
Wiz Khalifa will be there on Sunday with Warren G and Snoop Dogg.
That's what made me think about it. So I rolled my windows down right back at him and started playing some Lil Wayne, and it felt good. Sometimes you gotta let the windows down and play the music loud, man. People listen to music loud again, so hey. Every once in a while, man.
Hey, just to fill everybody in, we had a little poll up on the chat. Would you like Ndamukong Suh to sign? Should the Lions pursue Ndamukong Suh? 50% to 49%.
Look at that.
What the other 1%?
For yes.
Recount. Demand a recount.
Let's go.
That's the
funny.
closest poll
kidding,
we
Parker.
have
Don't
ever had on this show. It's the closest. It's usually 90% in favor of something Detroit Lions.
Guys, I guess I'll just talk this out on the show. So ESPN put together future power rankings, projections for all 32 teams, 1 to 32, where they are in the hierarchy of the league over the next 3 years. Do you want me to just go down from 1 down, or do you want me to tell you where the Lions are first?
No, let's start.
Let's go start.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you think would be the number 1 team over the next 3 years?
Going forward.
Going forward.
Can't see.
They are not. It is the Philadelphia Eagles.
I
The Eagles have
was against the Niners.
The Eagles have a loaded roster. Front office has shown an ability to maintain and replenish through the draft, trades, and free agency. Philadelphia, number 1 in the power rankings over the next 3 years.
I'm going to say it like this. I understand why they said that, because top to bottom, they are more of a team. They're loaded in every position. But until Patrick Mahomes goes somewhere, they will always be number 1 with me.
Kansas City, number 2. Patrick Mahomes could stand as the 2-word answer for optimism. Signed through 2031. As long as he's in Kansas City, the Chiefs will be competing for titles. Salary cap concerns bullish for them to compete on a high level. Understandable.
As it should be. Bringing up the salary cap, bringing up Patrick Mahomes, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, as it is. That's gonna be the interesting thing to do in the past. You talk about the running backs. You want to make it make sense. Notice that all the teams that have paid buku money for for quarterbacks, they don't have running backs. They don't have running backs, and the teams that actually try to pay their running backs, their quarterbacks are just okay. It's going to be interesting to see how that moves forward. Patrick Mahomes is great. Look how much money they pay him. Can't pay a running back. You can't pay a wide receiver, a tight end, a quarterback, and a running back. And the running backs are the ones.
That's why Tyreek Hill got traded.
And the running backs are the ones being slighted.
They got Kelsey.
Look at the quarterbacks that make buku tees. Matt Stafford. Who was their running back?
Nobody.
Exactly. Look at McKenzie with the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen. Look at their contract. The guys that are making this, like Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon just took a $5 million pay cut so that they can pay who next year? The guys that are making that dumb money, or you got to be an Aaron Rodgers where they're paying him $50 million, and Breece Hall is a what? He's a rookie. There you go. So, man, they go hand in hand.
Speaking of Joe Mixon, guess who number 3 is on this list?
Cincinnati
Bengals. Reason for hope. Drafting Joe Burrow changed everything for this franchise. They should compete at a high level over the next few years, especially if Joe Burrow signs a Patrick Mahomes team-friendly structure like Mahomes did for the Chiefs. If Burrow does that for the Bengals, they will be with it for years to come.
I got the next one.
You're not going to guess the next one.
I am. It's between 2 teams.
Okay.
Don't say anything.
There's 2 teams tied for 4.
Okay, I got it. I got it.
Now, just wait a minute. I want you to know how
Are they different
this.
conferences?
No, they're the same conference. They score them. They scored these teams. So Philadelphia came out with the highest score, then Kansas City, then Cincinnati. 2 teams tied for the next score. You'll never guess.
Jacksonville?
Nope.
Dolphins.
Nope.
Not the Dolphins.
Not the Chargers.
Nope.
Hold on. Don't give it to me. I only said the Dolphins.
I know it's not the 49ers.
Nope.
Can't be. What conference?
Who?
Bills.
Bills are one of them.
Ravens.
Yes. Bills and the Ravens.
That's
Ding,
you,
ding,
Parker.
ding, ding, ding.
You cheat over
Let
there?
me read you the
I just
Bills
read the
first.
article.
Oh, you can't say that. Did you read the article and then you shouted it out?
No, I mean, like, I saw it on Instagram.
Oh.
But you saw it.
Okay, you are now barred
All right, you
from
are
any
barred
future
from
talk.
contributing.
Shut his mic.
Yeah, right.
Shut his mic,
Jeez.
JB.
When we wear our cap, no cap t-shirts, you can't. You're on probation.
You can't do that. You just ruined the bit.
His mic is off.
Oh, my gosh. Reason for how Buffalo's highest grade came in quarterback category. Josh Allen remains the biggest strength, but the Bills also scored in the 90s in coaching front office. Wow. So that is why they are so high. For Baltimore, let me read Baltimore, and then you guys can go from there. Stability and a long track record of competence, both in the front office and coaching staff, are a reason why they are here, along with Lamar Jackson, who is only 26 years old and one of the most thrilling players in the league. If he can stay healthy, this team could be really good for a really long time. Bills and Ravens fourth.
There's nothing to say about the Baltimore Ravens. That's absolutely understood. You see what they did in the draft. They're trying to get their defense back as well. They paid Lamar Jackson. They added wide receivers. They've added tackles. Mark Andrews is a young tight end. I get that one 100%. Buffalo, I don't know why I don't understand that one. You say the front office, same front office that wouldn't get you any running backs, any interior linemen to make that team better. The same head coach that he looked pitiful in the playoffs. Like, Sean McDermott looked pitiful in the playoffs. They looked so bad against the Cincinnati Bengals. And just like we talked yesterday, this is supposed to be sustained greatness over the next 3 years, right? Well, how could a team that went from conference to semis to first round and then go from a quarterback that was finishing in MVPs two back-to-back to now he's 4 because he's throwing interceptions at a higher rate in the fourth quarter because Brian Daboll is no longer the offensive coordinator? I don't agree with that because they've been going down. Von Miller's supposed to be the guy for them. Last year he gets hurt. Oh, by the way, Von Miller's 34 on the left end. So I don't know about Buffalo maintaining.
Von Miller was listed as a reason for concern. Like, because they have, I'm going through this, but you're spot on.
I love Dalton Kincaid. Let's not forget they got Dalton Kincaid at tight end, so they will be better. I just have questions. I will put an asterisk by their 4 because they could surprise them. So I put an asterisk by it. But Baltimore, I do understand, Maz. What do you think?
I got the next 2.
Okay. I'll shut up.
Miami and Seattle.
Seattle is number 6. Seattle, the Seahawks.
Jacksonville in there somewhere?
They are in there, but not in the next 2.
Damn, good job, man.
The Seahawks, highest grades, front office and drafting categories. GM John Snyder's ability to manipulate the draft and just absolutely fleece the Broncos in last year's Russell Wilson trade. Geno Smith might not be their long-term answer at quarterback, but he is, at the very least, bought them time to keep looking.
That was going to be my question to you, Maz. With the Seattle Seahawks currently constructed as is.
Boy, can they draft.
If they had one of those quarterbacks that we showed on that list yesterday, one of those 10s, Brian, Maz, where would this Seattle team be? Just say Justin Herbert. Where would you put Seattle if they had Justin Herbert? Where would you put them if they had Trevor Lawrence? This Seattle team is good.
They're cooking.
Like, they're good. I want to see Geno Smith, the comeback player of the year from most improved player last year. If he does anything similar to what he did last year, you talk about all the time, why not now in the NFC? That Seattle team is going to be dangerous. That is the game that I have circled for the Detroit Lions this year.
All right, we're through 6. There is 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 more spots. Are the Lions in the top 10? We'll keep going here with number 7, guys. You know what? Let's take a break and keep going. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Not a problem, I got you, because summertime is a great time to join Planet Fitness and beat low E. Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes in a 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. Now, with over 50 convenient locations in the Metro Detroit area, plus 1,000 more worldwide, no matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness nearby. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
It's the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products with Dispo Dispensary. That's right, Dispo. It's the place we love to go. 10 locations in the state of Michigan. And guess what? Got to be 21 and up, recreation only, but it is the best brands from Hyman to Runts. You got it, man. Even Maz gets in on the Dispo fun a little bit. Like I said, visit disposhops.com today and unlock a world of endless possibilities and rounds of cannabis, man. Hello, summer at Dispo.
Hour number 2 of the program. Thanks to everybody who is watching on Woodward Sports Network. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. If you're sitting on your couch, we say hello. Watching maybe on your 55, 65, 75-inch television. Hey.
Or your cell phone.
Or you're watching
a little smaller
on this. We appreciate that as well. Maybe you Bluetooth us in your car, on Spotify. However you're watching or listening to Woodward Sports, we absolutely appreciate you. Having a lot of fun with this ESPN power ranking over the next 3 years. Just taking a look at where these franchises are now, all 32 teams, and projecting where they are on the hierarchy of the NFL over the next 3 years. So we've been through 6 teams. Are the Lions a top 10 team? We'll find out right now. Right now, 1 is Philadelphia, 2 is Kansas City, 3 is Cincinnati. There's a tie for 4th between the Ravens and the Bills. At number 6, it's the Seattle Seahawks. They actually give a score to different areas of their team and organization, come up with a number, and that number is the basis for the rankings. At number 7,
49ers.
Hold on.
Not the 49ers.
That's because they're a little older. That's because they're a little older.
No, Jags are 7. They might be 8 because Ryan already shot the Jags down for 7.
Yeah, you're right. Jags are 8.
So we're looking for the number 7.
We're looking for number 7.
NFC?
AFC.
Chargers.
Dolphins.
No.
Jets.
Nope.
No Dolphins
Bills?
yet.
Nope.
Patriots?
You'll never guess it.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, think quarterback, man. So who has a good young quarterback in the AFC?
Oh, the Colts.
Nope.
Oh, what's his? My
No,
God.
Texas.
Houston.
Nope.
I was just thinking Houston.
Steelers?
The Steelers?
Denver?
Steelers.
The Steelers.
How
Yes.
did
Pittsburgh
only
team
How can I forget about the Steelers?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
How can I forget them?
Because Ben
Here's what,
Roethlisberger's no longer.
Coach Mike Tomlin is a central figure in this franchise, present and future, making the Steelers impossible to overlook. The roster appears to be in strong shape with second-year quarterback Kenny Pickett, who offered plenty of his own reasons for optimism over the second half of his rookie season. He was top 5 QBR weeks 14 through 18. I will say this. If you tell me that I could have the Lions situation or the Steelers situation for the next 3 to 5 years, I would take the Detroit Lions situation right now.
Me too.
Lions, Steelers.
Hands down.
Roster for roster, coach for coach, GM for GM, quarterback for quarterback. I'm taking the Lions.
I'm with you, man.
Everything but GM for GM, I don't know. Like GM for GM, it's not even close. But the Steelers.
But that's part of it. That GM picks the players.
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying everything but the GM. I'm saying I'll take the Steelers is what I'm saying. So, because I look at the Steelers out of connect, Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett came on strong a little bit last year. He's decent on defense. Cam Hayward right next to T.J. Watt. Like, they felt strong enough about their secondary where they let Cam Sutton go. They let Cam Sutton go because they felt that good about their secondary. And if you look at them on offense, you look at them at wide receiver, they felt that good about their wide receiver core. They let Chase Claypool go because they have George Pickens, because they have Deontay Washington. They also have Freiermuth, who's a hell of a tight end.
I like him.
They're a damn good team too, Ryan. And their offensive line, they got better in the draft. So, I mean, obviously, I'm sticking with the Lions. But they're going to be sneaky.
So there's 2 teams tied for.
I trust Jared Goff way more.
There's
than
2
Kenny
teams
Pickett,
tied for 8th here on this list.
We already know one's
We
the
already know
Jags.
one is the Jags for obvious reasons. The other one, the San Francisco 49ers.
All right, there you go.
Coach Kyle Shanahan's ability to design winning game plans around basically any quarterback is the main reason to feel good about the 49ers' short and long-term prospects. At number 10 on this list, it is not the Detroit Lions. It is an NFC team. Can you guess who it is?
Cowboys.
It is the Dallas Cowboys. For all the jokes and justified criticism about the lack of recent playoff success, the Cowboys front office has absolutely demonstrated an ability to draft and develop young players and keep them competing for division titles. Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb offer plenty of roster hope in the coming years.
You think?
I just
think?
With the Cowboys have always been this, man. Tell me if I'm wrong. Like, the Cowboys have been this, Ryan, since they won their last Super Bowl in 1996 or 95. They're a team that is exciting. They're a team that will rise to the occasion in a big moment in the regular season. But they're so inconsistent. When you see teams that are as good as the Cowboys have been over the last 5 years, you got to go into games games against the Texans, destroy them. You got to go into games against the Titans and destroy them. They play easy competition to the easy competition level, and they play hard competition to the hard competition level. They never stay where they are, and that's the Cowboys' problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the music. JB, if you would, hit the music. Because coming in at number 11 on this list, projecting future success, our Detroit Lions. They rank in the top 10 in 2 scoring categories, in front office and quarterback. Jared Goff, they have him ranked the 10th best quarterback in the NFL right now, and we did this last week.
Yep.
We do it. He's always around 10, 11, 12 at the worst, depending upon how you feel about it. Let me just read this for you. Reason for hope. The Lions finished last season by winning 8 of their last 10 games, competing for a playoff spot until almost the very end and knocking division rival Green Bay out of the postseason hunt and their season finale at Lambeau. The culture change that Coach Dan Campbell has engineered in a short period of time offers reason to believe the Lions can build off last year's success. Reason for concern. Does Detroit have the pass rush to take down the real heavyweights of the league on a consistent basis? Yes. Aiden Hutchinson had 9.5 sacks. James Houston was spectacular with 8 sacks in 7 games. The Lions also ranked 25th in pass rush win rate, so it is clear they need more help up front. That was from Louis Riddick. Stat to know, and then we'll discuss. The Lions ranked 4th in offensive EPA, efficiency per play, is a testament to the offensive coordinator Ben Johnson and the Lions coaching staff. Detroit was extremely efficient despite having Jared Goff, 24th in QBR the prior year. At quarterback, a mediocre pass protecting line, and just one good wide receiver is your stat to know.
I only have one.
But 11th on this list. Pretty good.
I got one question, and the question is, I'm actually trying to move the Lions higher, and I'm doing it in this way. This is going to be their success over the next 3 years, right? Typically, your success is how you handle your division. That's a lot of your success. It's going to be the teams, you're going to play them 6 times. I look at the Lions division, I look at everybody else's division. You got Kenny Pickett and the Steelers ahead of the Lions. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, and Lamar Jackson are in that same division. Like, they're going to have a lot to say about what the Steelers do. You look at a couple other names, you say, there's going to be teams that have a lot to say about what those teams do. The Lions are going to own this division. If you can start off with 5-1 in your division, that gives you the jump on these other teams. I think based on that, Green Bay isn't going to be anything for a while. I think they're going to be a lot worse than people think. Like, I was on the train where, they got some good draft picks, and maybe they're going to be bad. Chicago Bears probably be bad as well. Minnesota Vikings, they clearly don't trust Kirk Cousins. They got rid of Dalvin Cook. Who's to say what they'll be over the next 3 years? I think the Lions should move up this list because they have a handle, it seems, on their division, and where you start your dominance. So I move the Lions up. I move them definitely in the top 10 because of that fact that they're going to own this division. You can't own the league until you own your division.
I'd swap them with the Steelers.
I'd swap them with the Steelers.
Yep.
And you know what? And there's another reason for it. The NFC is easier than the AFC. There's a lot of AFC teams in that top 10. I mean, the Lions deserve to be ahead of the Steelers. That's besides that, I think they got it right.
It's a pretty good list, and then I'm not going to go. I'll just read for you some of the teams.
Yeah.
At 12, the Miami Dolphins. At 13, the LA Chargers. At 14, the Green Bay Packers. 15, the Jets. And then 16, the Patriots, and that's halfway through the league.
Where are the Giants?
The Browns are tied with 17 with the Giants.
Wow.
I don't think they buy the quarterback.
They shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think they buy the quarterback.
Like, Daniel Jones led the league in turnovers in the last 4 years. Like, he's led the league from the quarterback position in turnovers. Last year, he and Jared Goff were great. Like, he was great last year, but he wasn't throwing the ball very far. Like, Daniel Jones is throwing the ball 8 yards down the field, or he's giving it to Saquon Barkley. It's going to change when you got to get that ball down the field, when you're trying to make plays. So
it was his contract year, too.
It was, and they pay him and not Saquon Barkley, and that's why they're in this mess. Seattle, I understand why they're up there too, because their division, they're very similar to the Lions. Cardinals suck, and the Rams stink for right now. It's kind of like the Lions division, where all they have is the 49ers, and all we have is Minnesota.
That's right. Guys, we're going to go around the NFL. Well, wait a minute. Before I do that, let me tell you who the last team is. Who do you think the last team is?
Cardinals.
Oh, no,
I'm not
Gotta
gonna
be the
say
Cardinals.
I promise.
Hold on. Let me get down there. No.
Tampa
Oh,
has-
wow. You know who's 28? The Rams.
Damn.
The
Arizona's got to be last.
32.
Yeah.
Arizona's 32.
Tampa's
31. The Raiders are 29 with the Texans tied for 29.
I think the Texans are better than that, actually.
And that's another reason. And that's another reason it sucks for Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs had a great year and a no one cared year. Like, they didn't make the playoffs. Like, they're a bad team.
Josh McDaniels stinks.
Minnesota's
100
23rd.
He stinks.
Everybody that comes from Bill Belichick stinks
Except-
outside of Charlie Weiss in college.
No, Vrabel.
And Vrabel.
Minnesota 23rd. Chicago 21st. Green Bay was, what I say, 14th.
Yeah.
14th, and the Lions 11th.
Where do they have the Vikings again?
23rd.
Wow.
Yeah.
Something about
Well, they just got rid of 8 players.
including a running
I
back.
can't be right all the time. I can't be right
Yes,
all
you
the time.
can.
So you got the Vikings going what this year?
I got
9
the Vikings
wins?
going 8-9.
8-9. Not even
Green
9
Bay,
wins.
where are they going?
I got them going 8-9.
You giving them 8
So
wins?
everyone in the division doesn't have a winning record
No,
except
the
the Lions.
Lions.
You giving Green Bay 8-9 with Jordan Love?
Yeah, I'm giving them 8-9 max. I mean, I'm talking max now.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you.
You know, and I got Chicago 6-11.
I got Green. I reversed it.
Or 7-10.
I got Chicago. I got Chicago right around 8-9, 7-10, and I got Green Bay at 6-11.
Green Bay, Chicago, and Minnesota 7, 8, or 9 max.
You guys are making a mistake on the Packers.
Max.
It's not the Packers because I
7.
understand Christian Watson and I understand how strong he came on last year. He was electric the last 78 games of the year when it looked like Aaron Rodgers cared. And Christian Watson was good. Romeo Doubs is going to be good. Jair Alexander is in the top 3 in terms of defensive backs this year. They have some good players, but it's Jordan Love. Like, I really do not trust Jordan Love. Look at what Green Bay was last year with Aaron Rodgers. And now you're going to take that same team and give them Jordan Love?
Hey, Maz, 7, 8, or 9. Minnesota, Chicago, Green Bay. All 3 of those teams will have one of those 7, 8, or 9 max.
You got it, buddy.
Max.
5 for Green Bay.
Guys, we'll take a break. We'll go around the NFL news and notes next. And a special guest coming up in the bottom of the hour. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not 1 but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars. 1 for you, your wife, your girlfriend, your best bud, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, whoever you want to give it to. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. How would you like to win not not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice. One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports Network on a beautiful Thursday.
That's cap.
That's cap.
Did you know what day it was? You were trying to figure out.
I was trying to figure out what day it was. They all run together. Today is Thursday, July 20th.
Yeah.
My goodness.
You guys got any plans for vacations?
No, I got no vacations planned. Nothing.
Nothing?
Not right now. Nothing.
Football season's coming. What is 49 days? I may try.
I'll take some days here and there.
Yeah, I may try to do something maybe like the week before we really get going.
Like I'm gonna take. I have August 2nd off.
I think you got Monday off.
I got Monday off.
This Monday?
Yeah, I got Monday off. I got Wednesday. I'm playing in a golf tournament on Wednesday, August 2nd.
Golf.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got Jersey coming up, and I want to go to Vegas, visit my buddy before the summer's up.
KC game. Like the KC game. I'm thinking about going to Detroit, Kansas City, and Arrowhead. So if I end up going to that game,
That's a
it's
Thursday.
a Thursday night game, so it means I'll leave Wednesday. So that'd be a little something before this, I guess, as the season starts. But
damn,
what the hell are we gonna do without you?
Yeah.
I'm going to be a field reporter.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm going to be a field reporter for you guys, man.
Hey, Mads, what do you got for us? Let's go around the NFL, shall we?
You got it, my friend. Let's do it.
It looks very peculiar outside.
It does.
buddy.
It looks a little weird, especially by your side of Woodward. This side don't look as bad.
Yeah.
By the way, let's start off with this is a heck of a story. We talked about the running backs, and Austin Eckler is outspoken. But Austin Eckler is outspoken.
Yeah.
He says, look out, the NFL owners, you just poked the bear. Now, I don't know exactly what he means by that, Braylon. Maybe you can help me out. But it's right behind you there, so you could follow all the goodies. But Austin Eckler said, enough is enough. You screwed us running backs. Now you guys are going to pay.
I guess I just don't understand what that means. I do understand they've got a gripe. I just don't know what you do about it legitimately, because you're only really hurting yourself.
You can't quit on your teammates either.
I understand quitting on the teammates, and you're doing what you think is right, but you're going to take money out of your own pocket? I mean, I just don't. You're only hurting yourself. The NFL is going to be like, okay, do you think if I took some stand about, whatever, that they couldn't. Everybody is replaceable. Austin Eckler, Ryan Ermanni, Tom Mazawey, Braylon Edwards. We are all replaceable. And I just don't know what you do.
You have no leverage.
None.
It sucks. This is a former NFL player talking. I played for one of these teams. You know what I'm saying? I support the 49ers. I love Ed McCaffrey growing up, so I rock with Christian.
Easy Ed,
man. He started with the 49ers. You know what I'm saying? Giants, 49ers, then Denver. But what can you do? Because the guys like Austin Eckler, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, those guys have to sign that tag. Saquon, they got to sign that tag. Derrick already got his money.
Right. So he making $12.5 a year.
And this is what happened, and this is the problem with the NFL versus the NBA. Like, if this is the NBA, guys would sit out together. Like, if it was a center complaining about not being able to get paid, well, the guards would sit out with you. They say, well, we don't want to play anyway until you take care of these guys, until you take care of the big fellas, because it's a small league, not that many players. You can't replace Joel Embiid. You can't replace Jokic if these guys choose to sit out. These guys, as great as Jonathan Taylor is, one of the best running backs in college football history, he's replaceable. Austin Eckler, he hasn't done anything of note. He has scored 38 touchdowns. Have the Chargers won a playoff game? Have the Chargers looked invincible? Has he even gone over 1,000 yards? No, he hasn't. That's the true nature of the question. Derrick Henry got his money. He's not going to end up worrying about these two once the season starts. Christian McCaffrey got his money. He's not going to
He was traded.
But he still got his money, though.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. He was traded, but he got his money with Carolina. So he's still paid. Like, when the season starts, it's going to, like, right now, it's kumbaya. We're brothers. Yeah, man, you can't treat us like this. Man, this is crazy. You're going to see what we do about it. Yeah, once September comes, those jokers going to be on the sidelines playing while those other jokers are trying to get paid. It sucks. But the Le'Veon Bell situation, it should have let you know what the running back situation was going to be for years to come. You have no leverage unless you do something special. Christian McCaffrey is throwing touchdowns, running touchdowns,
receiving touchdowns.
That's the other one I was looking for. I played receiver. Receiving touchdowns. Like, he was a major part of them winning all those games under Brock Purdy. He made it a lot easier for Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
and also, Deebo Samuel was hurt last year. He earned that. Derrick Henry, only reason why the Titans have been relevant in the last 5 years, including an AFC championship game, is Derrick Henry and the defense. It's Derrick Henry. 2,000 yards, 1,800 yards, 1,600 yards. He was special. If you're getting 1,000 yards and your team ain't winning the playoffs, that's not special. If you're getting 1,100 and getting bounced by the Giants last year in the playoffs, that's not special. Saquon Barkley, what he did, that's not special. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. But you have no leverage and you're not doing anything special. It just is what it is. You need the running back position, but you gotta do something special to get paid. Like, theirs are the only position where it's circumstantial. It's not about, well, I'm a damn good receiver, so I should get $24 million, Christian Kirk. It's not like that anymore with running backs. Unless you're doing something that's like, hey, man, that Derrick Henry, did you see what he did, man, that 99-yard run on Monday Night Football where he dragged the whole freaking team? Unless you're doing something like that, you're not special, so you're not going to get rewarded.
You spoke of Le'Veon Bell. Did you hear what he came out with?
I wish I wouldn't have done it.
I wish I wouldn't have done it. I blew it. He threw his career away, and now he's into boxing, and I wish him well. But and he said I should have stuck with the Steelers and never left.
You bring it up special. One last thing, and then we can change it or do whatever.
No, I mean I'm fascinated by the conversation.
Another special player. Everybody's like, well, why the hell did Alvin Kamara get paid? Because he had 6 touchdowns in one game.
Yeah.
Because Alvin Kamara, when they were good, when they had Breeze, he did things that were special along the lines of Christian McCaffrey. Jonathan Taylor is a special running back, but he hasn't done anything special yet. And the Colts haven't done anything special yet, so it sucks. And as long as you're going to keep playing Patrick Mahomes $1 billion and Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow's next with $1 billion, and the Jalen Hurts, that's why they got rid of Miles Sanders. Can't pay Miles Sanders and pay Jalen Hurts in the same year. As long as you're going to keep playing these quarterbacks, these buku contracts, that's the position right now that's going to get slighted.
You hit it on the head.
Well,
you need a rookie running back or a guy that's, pick off the waiver wire or 6th or 7th round draft pick like the Chiefs get. When you pay your quarterback, that's why I'm saying the Lions are going to have to pay their quarterback, or you let them walk and you got your rookie quarterback. Also, because you can't keep everybody.
Also, it doesn't help when the league knows what's selling tickets. The league knows why people are coming to the game. The league knows why people are playing fantasy football, which, by the way, Matt, I got an ESPN email, so I'm ready for the league this year. I will be awake.
I'll repeat.
I won't fall asleep. I'm not repeating falling asleep for the draft. But the league doesn't even want the running back, because to give the running back 30 carries a game does what, man? Slows the game down, makes the game boring. Not that many points scored when you're giving a running back 30 times a game and he's rushed for 160, 140 yards. So the league's on board too. They're like, hell, we want points. Y'all figure it out.
And as long as teams can draft DeAndre Swift in the 2nd round and then come back 3-4 years later and draft Jahmyr Gibbs, that position's not getting paid unless the NFL Players Association does something to it in terms of the draft, or unless these guys get drafted higher. Jahmyr Gibbs, top 12 pick, going to get paid. Bijan Robinson, top 6 pick, or top 8 pick, going to get paid.
What also hurts is when you look at it, and I throw it right back to you, Mass, what also hurts is when you look at the teams that are winning the Super Bowl, they don't have running backs. And that's the other thing. Last year, Kansas
You're right. The newer teams that are winning, they don't have that dominant back in the old days. They don't have Franco Harris
Right,
anymore.
look at the two teams last year.
They're done.
Miles Sanders and Isaiah Pacheco.
They're done.
Even Tampa, they won a Super Bowl. When they won a Super Bowl,
Leonard Fournette.
and you're like, oh,
Mike
okay.
Allstott
And you're like,
back
oh,
in the
Leonard
day.
Fournette. Well, Leonard Fournette didn't have over 1,000 yards rushing,
Right.
and Tom Brady,
Goal line guy.
Tom Brady turned Leonard Fournette into what? A receiving running back.
Yeah.
He was catching passes.
Even the Patriots, James White and Sony Michel.
James White has 500 yards in the regular season, and then all of a sudden has 500 yards in
They
the
had
playoff
three running
alone.
backs. And who's that little white guy?
Burkhead.
Rex Burkhead.
We had Danny Woodhead. He was on. I was on the team with Danny Woodhead.
They're looking at Fournette, the Patriots, right now as we speak.
Don't do it.
They're looking at him. But I want to ask you guys this question.
Yeah.
If you're, you guys are both dads. If your son's a very good football player, what position do you want him
Quarterback.
to play? I want each of you to tell me.
Quarterback.
One, it depends on his size, but just say he's
If he's not a quarterback size, right?
DB.
wide receiver. I'm a wide receiver.
DB wide receiver.
I'm a wide receiver, and wide receiver's making all the money. Like, I swear, I wanted Berkeley to play wide receiver so bad when he was in high school, Maz. Like, I told Pops, I'm like, you gotta have him play wide receiver. You gotta have him play wide receiver. They're making all the money, and the game is focused on them. When you see guys like Christian Kirk get 20, I'm gonna keep bringing it up. When you see Kenny Galladay getting $20 million, Christian Kirk getting $24 million, you have a real chance to affect the game, and you get paid. Wide receiver.
You know what I'm taking? Hey, son, you're going to be a long snapper.
Left
You're going to
tackle.
play for 20 years.
Right, no
You're
doubt.
going to snap. You're going to be in the play. You're going to be in 5 plays a game.
Special teams coach got to like you, though.
Right.
When a special teams coach
That's it.
likes you, he'll make you that long snapper for 12 years.
Guys, we'll keep going with the NFL, but first a message from Big Boy.
All right, Big Boy. They love it. They love the long
Oh, yeah,
snappers
they do.
at Big Boy.
Oh, yeah,
It's
they
Strawberry Fest, and you know it. Start the day off with a great breakfast, the strawberry hotcakes or the mouth-watering red velvet waffle. If you want to move over to the lunchtime, how about it? The strawberry bacon chicken wrap or the refreshing summer splash salad, because that gives you plenty of room to save up for dessert. The classic strawberry pie, the deep-fried vanilla Oreo, and the strawberry hot fudge cake, all specialties on the summer menu at Big Boy.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. For Detroit, by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Hey, everybody, I want to tell you about Outdoor Equipment Company. Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment. Sales, service, parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit OutdoorEquipCo.com. OutdoorEquipCo.com, your power equipment playground.
That's pretty cool, man.
That place was great. 27 Mile Road, Ray, Michigan, over there, just off of North Avenue. Really good stuff. Tom Mazawey, we'll continue to go around the NFL. What's up with your boy Jordan Addison?
Yeah, Jordan Addison, the wide receiver from USC, '1 draft pick or second-round draft pick. Was he first-round pick?
First round.
First round for the
pick.
Minnesota Vikings.
Pick like 23, 20, like
Yeah.
22, somewhere in there.
He was driving his nice, comfy SUV, exotic SUV, in Minneapolis in a 50-mile-an-hour zone, except he was going 140 miles per hour, and he was cited, obviously, for that. Braylon, I come to you.
Why you going to him, Maz?
Why you calling me out? No, that's actually a felony,
Why you
but
going
he'll
to
get a
him?
good attorney. So I've been in this situation.
140 and a 50.
I've been in this situation before, not in a 50, but I was going. This was in Cleveland. I was going 127 and a 70. I mean, look, the way that I had the conversation with the officer in my situation was much different. I wonder what he said. I wonder how it played out. I was going 127 and a 70. Was headed home in Ohio. Like, I wasn't drunk, wasn't anything like that. I was headed home, got flicked, pulled off on the exit. My actual exit.
What?
Flicked.
Is that what they say?
The lights flicked.
Oh.
Man, so you say flick. It's a black term, man. JB did it last night. I got flicked. I got flicked. The lights
JB, you know about that?
Oh, I know about
Oh, JB! JB got flicked.
So
I got flicked off the other day by somebody.
So I come up on my exit, and cops come up to the car. Why are you driving so fast? And then they instantly were like, "Are you Braylon Edwards?" I was like, "Yeah." Why are you driving so fast? I was like, "Look, man, I got a girl in front seat. She a little sick. Blah 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 blah. I'm designated driver."
What were you driving?
Bentley Coupe, Mulliner Edition, Continental. So it's like.
They knew they were pulling over an athlete.
But I told him, I'm like, bro, the car goes 220. I was going 127. Like, relax. But he laughed at the joke. He liked it. I guess I had signed something for his nephew that had cancer. I didn't know that situation, but he said, man, you did this. Yo, get out of here. Be safe. So I left. Went to the house. I was like, dodge the bullet. Whatever. Well, they sent it in a group text. Imagine this, a group text in 2009. They sent it in a group text to their friends. Somebody sent it to somebody that worked at Channel 19, which was their tabloidial news, and they picked the story up. And so then the police officers had to come back and actually give me a ticket. So they came to my house, knocked on the door. I opened the door. They said, hey, Mr. Edwards, we're sorry. You're going to have to come with us. So I went to the police station. You know what I'm saying? They wrote up the ticket, whatever, and they gave it to me, and I came back. They have up to 60 days to come back or reopen anything if it's a felonious type situation or misdemeanor or whatever. So I didn't have to pay a fine. You know what I'm saying? I got community service, but at least I was in a Mulliner and I was on the freeway. Like, damn, he was in a 50. He was in a 50. That's dangerous because I'm not gonna be that guy. 50 is tough. I hope he's all right.
Damn.
I mean, don't they look back and see what Henry Ruggs did?
No,
but he wasn't drunk.
Nobody does, man.
Henry Ruggs.
You always think it can't happen to you. You do. That's why people smoke. It's why people drink. It's why people eat fast food.
Let me ask you this: was he drinking? Was it just?
Doesn't say.
He going 140. And it hasn't said anything yet. He wasn't drinking. Because if he was drinking and he got put at 140, we'd have known about that.
Forget about
already.
Henry Ruggs. What about Jalen Carter? Yeah. You know, I mean, like
alcohol involved. It was 2 a.m.
He was. Was he? I didn't think Jalen.
He didn't stop, so they don't know.
Either way, you know, it is. Look, man.
Hey, look, it's easy to speed.
Yeah.
I speed. I have a lead foot, and I gotta watch it sometimes. I'm like, geez, what the hell am I doing?
If it's 80 and a 50, we can come up on here and be like, we don't want to be those guys 80 and 50. 140.
Yeah. That's fast.
140 man. And a 50. Like I'm not trying to be that guy.
What kind of car do you think he was in? SUV.
Airs. Like he was in a Range Rover. The newer Range Rovers go 170, or he was in the Airs, the Lamborghini truck. Because you're talking 140. I'm not pushing the Yukon Denali 140. I'm not pushing the Escalade 140. So it had to be like a smaller, like a hybrid type SUV.
Crazy, man. Incredible.
My thoughts.
Incredible, man.
140 and a 50.
Hey, you know what today is, guys? Today's the day.
140 and a 50 day.
That the people in Washington, D.C. get themselves a new NFL team owner.
God bless them. They've been waiting.
Daniel Snyder, his sale to Josh Harris, who owns the New Jersey Devils and Philadelphia 76ers for over $6 billion, is being voted on by the NFL owners today. That should be unanimous, and it'll be over. The Snyder era is history.
I mean, I'm mad that an individual like Dan Snyder, he gets punished by his team by selling his team, which is
$6 billion.
For $6 billion when he bought it for 1.2. Like, so I mean, forgive me if I'm not celebrating, but I'm happy that a team and a franchise like the Washington Commanders, who, man, you know way better than I do, how storied that franchise is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that a franchise like that in America has a better owner, has a owner has a history of winning, You need to see teams like that come back. Like, it's good when the great franchises, the story franchises, are good.
There's nothing worse than when you got a bad owner, right? I mean, because you know at that point you have no chance. I mean, when Joe Dumars was leading the Pistons in the sale, when Davidson died, and when you know your owner is bad, not bad, but in flux, you have no chance. And I'm glad for Washington. I know a lot of Washington fans. Greg Canner, Fox 2 sports producer there, grew up a huge Washington fan.
Isn't Dan Miller a fan?
Dan Miller was a fan. Now,
right.
That's who he grew up.
He's still a fan.
That's who he grew up with.
I hope, I hope that one of Harris, his name is Josh Harris. One of Josh Harris's first acts, I hope.
Let's change the uniform.
Well, besides
Helmet.
that, I hope it's to properly honor the memory of Sean Taylor. Like, I hope that's one of the first things he does, because Dan Snyder kind of rolled that out there as a distraction during that Gruden stuff. He did a terrible job. That's one of the first things I hope they do, is a better memorial or a better send-off for Sean Taylor and his family, because he deserves it.
The first thing they're going to do is get themselves a new stadium. Washington, D.C. and Virginia are fighting it out right now. They might build it on the old RFK Stadium site, but they're going to get themselves a new stadium. And if you look behind you, Ryan, I've never seen a sky that looks like that.
Oh.
I mean, I have never seen a sky that looks like that.
I wish we could show it.
I wish we could too. But look out, guys. Hail is coming.
Guys, we're going to talk to former Michigan guard, former Pistons guard, Derrick Walton Jr. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing. Stay out! Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by the best. Means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out. Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Hey gang, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, we absolutely appreciate it. We have a real treat for you. Former Michigan guard, former Pistons guard. He's been just about everywhere. Derrick Walton Jr. D-Walt, how you doing, man? You gotta, yeah, there you go. Yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm good.
What's happening with you?
Not much. Just I got called Unc the other day.
By who?
One of the younger kids.
Yeah.
I'm like, getting used to that now.
Hey, when that happens, you gotta change some things.
I definitely gotta change some. But no, I've been staying out of the way, just staying in positive.
That's awesome. Hey, you got a camp coming up. I want to let everybody know about that. I want to get into a lot of other stuff, but you got a camp coming up. Tell all the kids and parents out there that are watching and listening about the DW10 Skills Camp.
Well, I started doing camps probably like 2017, 18, right after I got out of college, of course. But then the pandemic didn't let me do it, and this is the first year I'm doing it again. And it's one of those things I take seriously because I remember being one of those kids. So like, I usually make ends meet. Of course, you got to make the camp or something, so it's $100 to start. But if you can't, we usually make stuff happen. Give them day of training. It's at this place in Oakland called Rochester Fieldhouse. They got a lot of like good stuff like the gun and a lot of stuff that's innovative and let kids like stay within the game. So another opportunity for me able to feel like I'm giving back on top of the fact I get a chance to do some stuff with my family while I'm here. So yeah, Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 12, just want to give back in any way, shape, or form, and this is one way for me for sure.
It's boys and girls too.
Definitely, yeah. Unisex for sure. We don't buy it. All kids are.
You want to play ball? You show it up.
Yeah, definitely.
That was one of the good things about growing up in Detroit, man. Growing up when we were younger, they had a lot of camps. Football, basketball, track, lacrosse, baseball, it didn't matter. They had a lot of guys and a lot of professional athletes came through here. A lot of cats from the city show love. Jalen still shows love. Talk about, like, what was one of the camps you went to when you were like, you know what, okay, this is something I have to do when I get a chance. I got to put on like this guy put on.
I think, and this is it's inspiring sport-wise too, both-wise, because I still talk to like Jordan Lewis and like he still have his camp.
Okay, yeah.
A lot of that stuff is still inspiring. Like just being one of those guys, throw the camp. A lot of those dudes still doing that, and we all the same. So the one for me when I was younger, I went to this camp called Rodney Hurd had a camp, and I went to Jermaine Jackson camp when I was younger, and it changed.
You with D Mercy?
Yeah, that's my OG. That was my OG.
He went to Finney, right? Yeah, that's right.
Number 32.
So that camp changed everything. And it kind of got me wanting to do it because I met so many guys that I still cool with to this day. And then basketball and, of course, football is a small circle. So you're going to see the same people for the most part.
I applaud you. Like, growing up, one of the big things, Jerome Bettis. Like, he took over for Reggie McKenzie's camp, but Jerome Bettis was the camp that I went to, and I just watched how he put it on. I watched me being one of them, the youngsters. You looking at him, you hanging on there every word. And then I saw how the guys took time. Because guys don't realize, like, these camps, we don't get paid. No. Like, the players don't get paid for the camp. They come out. You may pay for their flight. Guys are coming because they want to pass their wisdom. They were sitting in those same seats before. You know what I'm saying? Getting that wisdom, getting that knowledge, man. So that's dope. What else is on the itinerary?
As far as the camp, I don't know. I'm thinking about I got some time. I'm doing a kids day, of course, but like backpacks and bounce houses. Type of stuff that just allow kids still to be kids, but still to give them something to give away. Of course, I got stuff to give away, but allow kids to still be kids, and then of course have fun doing it. But other than that, man, just still playing basketball,
hooping.
Of course,
you're talking to Derrick Walton Jr. and Derrick, do you get to Ann Arbor much? Do you see the team much? Are you up to date on what's going on at Michigan?
I got like the coaches my coach is still there. Sadie Washington is still there, and of course, I played for Juwan my rookie year in Miami, so I got some real close ties, but I haven't seen much. I didn't get a chance. I followed as much as I could, but I didn't get a chance.
You guys won a championship overseas last year, didn't you?
NBL champ,
yeah,
Sydney King.
How about that?
I'm trying to do something. Good opportunity for me. Just getting out of my comfort zone, of course, going into a foreign place. But basketball is basketball.
Yeah.
Basketball is basketball.
How was Sydney?
I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie. It was one of my favorite cities, and I'm not even really a travel guy. A lot of people, really nice people. Food was really good. The weather was great. City don't owe me absolutely anything. I enjoyed my time.
How's the time zone difference? Because they're like I think they're the furthest. They're the furthest ahead. They get New Year's first, right?
They're sleeping already.
Yeah, it's a day ahead, of course. And it was an adjustment, but I had some people come over and keep me company. But again, just continue my basketball journey, going there and winning and experiencing that was dope.
Hey, what'd you think of your old team, the Miami Heat? Their run that they made in the NBA. I mean, that was a hell of a show they put on.
Yeah, give us the real scoop.
Give it a scoop.
Give us the real scoop.
How'd they put that team together, man?
Just knowing what they built on the fabric about what's the best way to put it politically correct about
the culture,
professional sports. With the culture of it is kind of like they preach it every single day. Like every day is the day to get better, and they take it serious. And I think it shows over the last 5 years that it made a run in so many different ways. Yep. Like I think it's the everyday approach, and then with guys throughout the whole season, of course you can tell. Like when you've been doing something for 5-6 months, it's easy to kind of like check out. They don't allow you to do that. So those guys, of course, being able to stay focused longer usually help.
D, let me ask you a question. I saw something yesterday, and I thought it was pretty cool. I think I sent it in to you guys, Ryan and Maz. Austin Reeves was on the All the Smoke, and he was talking about his plan. He said when he came out, The Detroit Pistons call him at 42. A couple other teams call him and wanted to draft him, and he and his team, I forget, AZR or AHR, something like that, they said, hey, we appreciate the opportunity, but we respectfully will pass. We would like to not draft you, Ryan, and I sent it to you, because he said we had a better place. We tiered teams as it related to his game, as it related to how his game was structured, and obviously the Lakers were number 2 or number 1, and somebody else. Like, are guys doing that now? Are guys kind of like in the NFL? It's like, yo, nah, you don't say that in the NFL. In the NFL, it's like, please draft me if you will. In the NBA now, guys are like, hey, don't draft me. This is a plan. He got to the Lakers, and 3 years later, he's got his bag. Like, is that the thing now?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. My situation was a little different. So whoever wanted me, I was kind of excited. So I think if you got the opportunity to have the leeway to kind of choose a situation, you would rightfully so should do so. But I think for his situation particularly, probably marketing, just different opportunities outside of basketball probably was the thing. And then of course, it's always easy to talk about when it works.
Yeah, when it works.
It always works. But everything is a flip of the coin. But you're always excited to see somebody have some success whenever they do choose their own pathway.
I thought it was interesting because, I guess the way in which he said he did it by the teams that they felt fit his game. And I wish I could have did that. Like, you look at it like that, like, okay, these are teams that fit my game. I think you can have more success. It's not about where you, like, what pick you go. It's what situation you go to. A lot of guys, they don't make it to where they could be, and they get struck in situations that are horrible. People look at them a certain way, and then they never get that second look. So I just thought it was interesting.
Hey, Derrick, a couple of people in the Woodward Sports chat want me to ask you about the TBT tournament. What's going on with the team from Michigan? There is no team from Michigan, is there?
To my knowledge, there's not.
There's not. No. When can we get a team from Michigan?
I think I heard somebody. It circled around a couple times. I think I may have been Funches. I'm not sure. I have no timetable when it's going to change. I think it'll be good for us, of course, but I have no timetable. I have no say-so in any of that.
Hey, I want to ask you about the NBA draft and the lottery that the Pistons got screwed out of. We all know it was fixed, and San Antonio got to pick Victor. What did you think of the Pistons, their 2 picks, Asar Thompson and Marcus Sasser? I mean, they had a pretty good summer. What kind of players are they, and what do you think the Pistons – how far away are they?
It's crazy. Marcus, the Marcus guy, me and him got the same agent. So I seen him work out probably 2 years ago when I went to Chicago. And I think he either was on the verge of coming out and he came back or something like that. But he's a good player, a real good player. I think he'd compliment him nice. I think they're trying to go younger, of course.
Can't get much younger than they are.
I know, but I think on top of the fact that them trying to be younger and then allowing them guys to grow is going to be a big thing because they got the talent, of course. I think Cade's really good. I think they got a lot of nice pieces all about how they formulate and gel it. But I like the younger guy.
Asar?
Yeah. Whenever you can kind of roll the ball out and let somebody impact the game without really having to draw stuff up for them, that's super valuable.
What's your take on Victor Wembanyama?
I think, obviously, you ain't never seen nothing like it, but I think Bobo is kind of the same type of guy. I think they pick and choose who they want to glorify because Bobo was the exact same thing probably 3-4 years ago, and
didn't he just get cut?
You know what I mean? It all goes in waves. I guess it just all goes in waves. I don't know.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I was listening to the story. Got caught in. I want to ask you about the situation with Portland. Like, we've talked about that until I'm blue in the teeth. I don't necessarily the Dame aspect. But did Portland know what they were doing? They drafted Scoot Henderson. Scoot can play.
Yeah.
They drafted Scoot to replace Dame, essentially, and then they tried to play it off. That's what I've always thought. They tried to play it like, oh, we're loyal and blah, blah, blah. They knew what they were doing, or am I overreaching?
Not. One thing I will say, though, now I've got older and kind of looked at it from a business standpoint, not just being a player.
Right.
Sometimes teams do get caught in a bind where you got to take best available and then what you need, and then sometimes you got to just take the best player available. I think he was one of those guys. If he dropped any lower, people would have been surprised, and Portland just so happened to have that pick, and their situation is what it is. But I think teams sometimes get handcuffed too, because sometimes you may have a point guard, and the best point guard or the best player available may be at a position you already got filled, but you don't want to leave talent on the board because there's so much talent out here. So it's usually tough. But overall, I honestly, when interested to see how the Dame situation turns out too.
I can't wait to see how that plays
out. Talking to Derrick Walton Jr., you got time to stick with us for our last segment?
Yeah,
I got to get a break in. We'll talk more
We
about
want
that.
Michigan talk.
And we'll talk about Michigan, absolutely. But first, a message from Randy. Wise.
Let's do it, man. What could be better than watching celebrities play golf like D-Mac and Braylon, maybe even D. Walton? Playing golf yourself, of course, and being treated like one of these guys. Stop by any Randy Wise dealership for your chance to play golf like a celebrity. VIP transportation, free golf to one of Michigan's best tracks, and a tasty steak afterwards thanks to Fairway Packing. How about it? Make the wise decision. Get to a Randy Wise right now and keep it right here on Woodward Sports.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network, here with Derrick Walton Jr. You've done great since you've left Michigan. You've done great. You've played in the NBA. You've been all around the world. What for people who just watch as fans? How much of it is, as you see, is talent and opportunity, and how much of it is a business, like the business end of professional sports that so many of us don't see?
I won't take away the fact that you do have to actually work hard and play and actually be good at the job. But of course, it's about 50-50 now for me at this point. At 28, 50 is 50-50.
Like, but the older you get, absolutely. The older you get, absolutely.
But you're not old.
Yeah, well, the more years you can log in and play, I think you should. But it's definitely a big component of it is business. It's a lot that you can't control, of course. Definitely a lot. Definitely.
D-Dub, is there going to be another American-born MVP in the NBA?
I ain't even thought about it yet. The European guys are taking over.
Joel Embiid this past year. Jokic the last 2 years. Giannis the year before that. The 2 years before that. Luka is the next guy wanting to get one. Victor Wembanyama is now all the talk. It seems like the NBA players, the Americans, skilled as hell, but it seems like the foreign game, they come in like grown men. While like the guys that they're drafting, the guys they're picking up out of high school or out of the overtime league, younger, it's taking them a longer time to not have game, not come in and kill, but mature. Seems like the foreign players are coming in right away. Not you. You had 4 years in college in Michigan. It's different. The guys are coming in young, maturity. Look at Ja Morant. Look at Zion Williamson. Seems like, I know I can answer the question myself, but it's just weird, man.
I got a crazy story that kind of like give me a perspective on the European basketball.
Talk about it.
I was teammates with Franz Wagner. Probably 4 years ago. He was 19, I believe, at the time. He was studying for his ACT. This how crazy. He was studying for his ACT while we was on the road. This how crazy it was. And the stuff that I was just kind of like starting to compare it to American and European basketball is like, over here, of course, we applaud the athleticism. But I know for a fact they teaching the fundamentals and the skill component of the game. So like the guys that you just named, all super skill guys. Yeah. All are European, and it starts from a very young age. Like they just been doing footwork and fundamentals and skill work for 20-something years. And you see a dude like Jokic, you like, he been doing it for so long, opposed to us Americans. We more so about the showmanship and the athleticism that sometimes the stuff that wins are the fundamentals opposed to athletics. And I think me at this age, understanding it now, I understand that's the biggest difference: the athleticism versus the fundamentals. Like those guys are very fundamentally sound, and fundamentals forever gonna be around.
So do you think they've passed the Americans?
I wouldn't go that far and say that, but I will say the gap is a lot closer than it usually would be. Like around the times of the 2004s, the Olympics, where we dominate, it's not the same at all.
You could say it in baseball too. I mean, look at the international players in baseball. They come here and they take off like superstars. So it's just the way they're taught, man. Maybe it's time for a new way.
Hey, Derrick, obviously, just a quick thought on Michigan, but I want to talk about your camp before we get out of here one more time. But just a quick thought on Michigan, where you think that program is right now and where you think it can go.
With its branding and everything, it always could be the best. I think we're going through a little, and I wouldn't say basketball rebuilding. I would think it's just adjusting to new times, I guess, because I think we done well the last 3 or 4 years as far as D-tournament runs. I think just getting back to the basics will be the best. I think just the camaraderie of a team is starting to show how much you need it down the stretch of a season. I think it's nothing that we can't get back to, but I know Juwan has a plan to figure it out.
Fantastic stuff.
What do you think the NIL has affected? How do you think it's affected college basketball in general?
And how much could you have made?
Yeah. Do you want to go back to college?
Do you have any more eligibility?
I don't want to. I pride myself on not being the guy that looks back and say what if, but I know for a fact I would have made a nice pretty penny.
What if?
But what if for sure. But the NIL is a little different. I can speak from experience because as much as we want to compensate the student athlete, I think it's kind of taken away from the product too. Like a lot of guys are just finding ways to make money opposed to putting the best players in college. Well, we got different leagues like the OTE where guys are finding different avenues because, it's about money now. So guys want to go where they're getting paid the most. But at the same time, as a guy that's been through the college rigorous system for 4 years and not got no money, I understood how hungry that made me and me want to be the best player I could be at that time. So it's like, it's a give and take. I like that they got the option to be paid, but I do think it's taking a little bit away from the product. I think guys not as honed in on perfecting their craft no more.
What do you think about what Hunter Dickinson did?
I respect anybody who make a personal decision like that to better themselves. That's all I can really say. I don't really knock people for doing what's best for them.
No, I didn't see you knock him, but you think he's got a much better chance over in Kansas to make money than he does here? I know the answer.
There you go, guys. I want to let you know. Go.
They on the hot seat
Can
right
I just
now
send? Can I just send everybody to your Instagram? Okay. Everybody go to Derrick Walton's Instagram, DW10 _ DW10 _ on Instagram. He's got all the information about the DW10 Skills Camp happening this weekend, July 22nd and 23rd in Rochester Hills. The phone numbers, email addresses, registration, everything you need right there on Instagram at DW10 _ the great Derrick Walton Jr. Please tell your dad I said hello, will you? He's a great guy. Absolutely. Thanks so much for being here. Braylon, get us out of here.
Hey, look, man, it's Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. This is what we do. Tomorrow, we will be talking more Detroit Lions. Let's see how the rookies are doing out there at rookie camp. My man D-Dub came in the building, show love. Appreciate you. Always good to see you. For JB, my man Parker, Maz over there, my brother from another mother to the left, Ryan and Ermanni. We are what you heard. See you tomorrow.
See ya.